One season wonder. Yeah.
This is a one season wonder. You've changed my mind. I'm going to go legendary.
Yeah, I knew I'd get there in the end.
Welcome to another episode of the Pecking Order, Onefootball's version of the tier list. And today, myself and Paddy are ranking title-winning teams from a socially acceptable distance.
Yes.
Will you give us the 5 categories?
Of course. So let's start from the bottom. We've got one season wonder. One level up from that is a flash in the pan. Middle rung, hot streak. Second from top is legendary, and the last and the best is era-defining.
Oh, big words.
Yeah.
Right, producer Ryan is here to shout out these 10 title-winning teams.
Man United, 1999.
Oh, United 99. Oh, that's a treble-winning.
It's a big team.
That is a big team.
Yeah. On the end, or towards the end of their era of dominance, certainly not over.
No.
Yeah, certainly not over. There was still some good stuff to come.
I feel like United were better in like the mid 2000s. Well, actually, the late when they went on that, like with Cristiano Ronaldo, 2007 to 2009.
But they smashed it. Like, remember they won by 18 points or something like that this season. It was like almost 100 goals scored. It was like football manager-esque when all the stars align and you just nail it, you know?
Yeah.
So this was a big team. And there was some success that obviously came before and obviously certainly after. I mean, I can go probably first here. I would almost kick off and pull the trigger early and say this was era-defining. This was before the money came in for Chelsea, before you know the game had changed rockabilly.
This was the first treble, wasn't it, in Europe?
Could be too. Yeah.
Out of the top 5 leagues, I believe it was the first.
Yeah, so
European
there you go,
treble.
era-defining for me.
I'm talking myself back into it. Yeah, era-defining, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they went on to win the next 3 Premier League titles.
I feel like you went from like flash in the pan then to like era-defining.
No. I was just trying to think rationally.
We're just warming up. Yeah.
They had Jonathan Greening on the bench in that final.
Yeah, and he went on to become a very, very serviceable Premier League player.
Serviceable.
He had a great career. I mean, you know. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Leicester 2016.
Okay, this one was always going to come.
Yeah, 2016. This team, I mean, they've never challenged again.
No.
For the Premier League seat.
They haven't completely lost it, though.
Yeah, they have.
They've stayed competitive. True. They've invested fairly wisely. I mean,
they've lost Kante and Morris, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's true actually. Yeah.
As the big
at their primes. Yeah.
The big names.
Yeah.
I don't know because they're one season wonder because they won that title.
It was a great year, wasn't it? Great season.
It was great, but they stayed pretty hot. Champions League next season to the quarters.
Yeah.
They'd also won the championship title 2 years before that. I'm actually going to go flash in the pan. Technically, they were a one-season wonder.
I was going to say the same. They were definitely more than a one-season wonder, but I don't think we can say that this is a... Actually, you know what? Oh.
The thing is, I also feel like that title win has led to a growth in the club and keeping players and has made them the Champions League challengers they are today.
Again, got some big money from outside the UK, of course. I'm going to go with hot streak. So middle of the table.
Okay.
Middle of the table because I think they've actually done well to sustain that to a decent level, and I'm sure there's going to be other teams we discuss now that weren't able to do that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one.
Right, next up.
Yeah.
Arsenal 2004.
Speak of the Devils.
Arsenal 2004.
Not really, but I mean the Invincibles.
The Invincibles. If it's Invincible, it has to be one season wonder because no one's ever done the Invincible thing again.
Yeah, I get your point. If you take that very, very literally, you're right. But at the same time, I mean, this Arsenal team, this is when the stars really aligned. Yeah. And Wenger's approach as a manager was just perfect.
Yeah.
He had the perfect players for that system. They really, I think they made football. They put football in a different light for a lot of people, the way that team was playing. I see your point about the one season one, but I think it was more than that. I think there's definitely sort of something.
I think there is more. But they're also, I mean,
they didn't win much after, that's for sure.
They haven't won a title since.
Yes. Yeah.
That season brought them one cup, and that was the Premier League. That was it. Knocked out the FA Cup, Champions League, League Cup.
Yep.
Is it 26 wins and 12 draws? So not exactly flying up. So
what are you saying? You're going to say one season wonder?
No, I'm not going to say one season wonder. I'm going to go legendary.
Okay.
Because as well, that was the culmination. They won it 2 years before in 2002 as well.
Yeah.
That side was brilliant. Henry was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Vieira.
Yeah.
After that, they had the Champions League final in 2006, but from then on it was a bit meh. I'm going to go legendary.
Yeah,
for
I'm
that
going to go hot streak because I think they definitely did bring Arsenal into the spotlight. I mean, not that Arsenal were a small club, of course, but really like changed the way that people thought about Arsenal. But I think their lack of success since then, and they've always been around and stuff like that. But this finishing fourth joke is a joke for a reason, and I think that's why maybe hot streak is the best.
I think the Invincible tag pushes it to legendary for me.
Fair enough.
Just a little bit.
Just by the actual word. Yeah. All right. Next up.
Deportivo 2000. Good lord, that was
That's
the
great
era.
Players. Roy Mackay, Diego Tristan.
Was that the season that they turned it around against AC Milan? Or was the season after?
In the UEFA...
In the Champions League.
Yeah, you're right.
They were 4-1 down the first leg at the San Siro, 4-0. But yeah, Roy Mackay was an absolute
Diego Tristan was there.
Yeah.
Javier Urieta was the manager. I'm going to go for... Because I think we know what happened with Deportivo. Actually, they'd actually had some good seasons before that, to be honest.
Yeah, they did.
But then they completely dropped their bundle a few years later, got relegated, and have been a real yo-yo club since.
At the time, so they won the title, right, in 2000? Yes. 2000. And I seem to remember Valencia going on a hot streak after that.
Yeah.
And really sort of... I don't know, I feel like they kind of stole Deportivo's thunder and made them look like
maybe
less...
a bit unfairly too, because it wasn't like Deportivo went from like 12th to just winning the title. They were building for something like that.
Team.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go hot streak.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go flash in the pan, I think, because the way that they've struggled to maintain, or they, at a certain point got relegated and have really yo-yoed around since then. Yeah, I would say flash in the pan and almost bordering on one season wonder, despite the good work that they've done before. But I'll go flash in the pan.
Okay, now you're making me want to go flash. No, I'm sticking with hot streak.
Sticking with it, yeah.
Good question.
Liverpool 2020.
It's a bit of an odd one to discuss because we're in the midst of it.
Yeah, even though they are obviously going to win it if it
continues, of course,
and on the back of a Champions League title as well, which you would remember as much as anyone.
Well, this is the thing. That one Champions League obviously had a fantastic Premier League season, finishing 1 point behind City, but to then go and get knocked out of everything else this season. Yeah. So they've had one Champions League win and then one smashing Premier League victory, like the whole season.
Which is great, but
It's great.
It's
not era defining.
It's not a dynasty yet, that's for sure. Yeah.
This is the thing, we're kind of in the middle, so it's difficult to say.
I'm going to give it a hot streak, but I think this definitely has potential to be legendary and even potentially era defining. If Liverpool and this momentum continues, because they do have a lot of things on their side and all the weapons they need to actually create something that we've seen before. Probably the thing that's not on their side is that, unlike a lot of the era-defining teams that we've seen before, the competition and the money is so big.
I was going to say, you could have this brilliant season, right? And all of a sudden, Chelsea and City pull their finger out their arse and get their wallet out. Yeah. And suddenly you're into a 3-horse title race again.
But I'm going to go with hot streak for now, at least.
I'm going to go flash in the pan.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, and it's no disrespect to Liverpool what they've done this season, but as I say, I was slating Arsenal for winning just the Premier League and nothing else, and that's what Liverpool are going to do this season. Okay, yes, Super Cup and Club World Cup and the stuff that may not really matter. If this were to be as good as it gets and they have a Champions League and a Premier League in 2 seasons, not much before, not much after, that's going to be a flash in the pan for me.
Fair enough. Yep.
Damn, I'm going to get slated in the
comments. 100%.
Next up.
One season wonder. Yeah.
This is a one season wonder. I mean, they did the early Chelsea with Jack Walker.
Yep, exactly.
Getting his checkbook out.
Shearer and Sherwood and
Chris
Sutton and Tim Flowers and guys like that.
Was the guy Colin Hendry as well?
Colin Hendry, yeah.
God, what a
Graham
bar
Lasso. Yeah.
The thing is, they were relegated two seasons later.
The best of British, basically. Yeah. What the best that British money could buy. Yeah.
They were relegated in '97.
Yeah.
2 seasons after. Yeah. Their Champions League showing was piss poor. The year after they won the title.
They've been up and down and around, and money problems and chicken owners and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely one season.
Yeah. I was going to say flash the pan. Yeah, one season one for sure. A great season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But Shearer left, and that was it. Game over.
Yeah.
Atletico.
Ooh.
Okay, now this is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like this might be era defining.
Oh wow.
For a whole nother reason.
Go on.
Not for the fact they were winning, right? So that season, 2013-14, I believe they did a double with the Copa del Rey as well as the league. Obviously lost in the Champions League final to Real Madrid. For me, this is Diego Simeone's era and legacy is being the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the whole 2010s, this whole Real Madrid-Barcelona battle, this Messi-Ronaldo thing, well, you can't talk about that and Spanish football La Liga without saying Atletico Madrid were up there fighting every season, finishing in the top 3 for most of it. Diego Simeone, Diego Costa, Griezmann, these guys were part of this 5 or 6 year streak that reached 2 Champions League finals, in fact.
Yep.
Won La Liga, finished runners-up on the odd occasion, a couple of Copa del Reys, 3 Europa Leagues, I believe. Or that was Sevilla, sorry. And they still got Europa League as well, beating Marseille in the final. I'm going to go era-defining.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
It's era-defining for Atletico, and I think for Spanish football, outside of the hype of Barca and Real Madrid.
I see your point. Still, I disagree a little bit. I would say probably legendary, simply because, again, they weren't able to really kick on with more trophies. I get your points completely. I mean, Simeone came in and changed the texture of this club, the fabric of it, to become
forever.
Basically become the uncomfortable neighbours, not just for Barcelona and for Real Madrid, but for any team who was going for the Champions League title in Europe as well. No one ever wanted to get, and still don't want to get Atletico Madrid at home or away. By the way, they're equally uncomfortable. So I think he's done a fantastic job. We all know that, and definitely changed the fabric of the club forever. And that's why I would say legendary, but just without the actual trophies to justify the era-defining reward.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to stick with it.
Go on then. Go on then. Yeah.
I'm sticking with it. Era-defining.
Next up.
Barcelona 2009.
The most successful club side ever in that year.
Pretty hard to go past era-defining with this team, isn't it?
I mean, 6 trophies in that year, 2009. Eto'o, Ronaldinho, Messi, Henry. And this is like Pete Guardiola.
Yeah.
To be fair, Mourinho did undo them a few years later.
But that still took a couple of years, didn't it?
It took a couple of years. I feel
and a lot of money.
And a lot of money. This is era-defining in terms of trophies. In terms of coaching style that changed the game.
Yes.
And in terms of playing football.
It's hard to debate that. I think what did Messi he nearly scored 50 goals that season. Like, it was really when he was really starting to show, okay, I'm clearly, someone who's going to lead this game for a long time. They got Zlatan that year. Didn't really work out, but
the year when Zlatan came, that 9-10, that was the one where
Eto'o went the other direction.
Yes, and they won the Champions League when Mourinho beat Barcelona with Inter. He played some disgustingly defensive game at the Nou Camp in the semis. Mourinho was the scourge of that team afterwards, but it's still like era-defining.
100%. I would go era-defining for sure. Yep.
Montpellier 2012.
Montpellier, wow, this was... I'd put it on par with Leicester.
I'd have it more of a Deportivo. Yeah, no, you're right, actually. Yeah, a little bit of a mix of the two.
They had some money.
Had some nice players
not
too.
Not a huge amount, they did.
But that, again, I think Montpellier have had a great record of bringing players through, not necessarily going out and buying them. So I think it was Giroud.
Giroud was the main guy.
But they've had records with, I think they had Blanc back in the days, and Valderrama was there for a while as well. So, and they actually at least sustained their position in the league after. So not quite a one-season wonder, maybe, but certainly a flash in the pan.
Yeah, the thing is, they were at a really weird time. This was 2012.
Yeah.
This was when French football, basically, Lyon decided they weren't going to dominate it anymore.
PSG were...
PSG, the year after 2013, took over.
Yeah.
But they had, I think, Bordeaux won it 2010. Lille.
Marseille were around.
So Marseille, Montpellier, Lille. So they had four winners in 4 different seasons. And French football was up in the air and they just took advantage of it.
Yeah. So well done, but I would say nothing more than a flash in the pan for me. Yeah.
Flash in the pan. That was when Giroud left for Arsenal, right?
Yeah, pretty soon after. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I'm going to go one season wonder.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just think...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they went down like maybe 6 or 7 years after that.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to brush up on my Montpellier history.
Yeah.
I'm going to go one season wonder.
Fair enough. I'm going to go
They haven't even been on the European scene since.
Yeah, but I think at least a city like that, having a team that's maintained its top flight status, I think is enough for me to be flash in the pan.
Okay.
Yep.
Dortmund 2004.
Oh
boy. This is like... I think I'm going to... Along with what I said about Guardiola, this is coach defining in Klopp. The football was brilliant, and they took on and beat for 2 years in a row. Germany's biggest team, most successful, biggest budget, biggest players in Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear that Bayern were definitely going through a bit of a rough patch at that time.
But a Bayern rough patch is a good patch for most.
Correct. But Dortmund didn't just overcome Bayern as a result of that rough patch, or at least if they did it in an amazing style, and in some ways have struggled to repeat that because Bayern have learned their lessons from dropping the ball and seeing that it's not just Dortmund now, it's Leipzig, it's a couple of other teams who could do that. So Bayern have had to really sort of tighten their belts and be careful about this sort of thing in the future, and Dortmund made them do that in that era, or in that couple of seasons there, and did it through some incredible football with some incredible players as well.
And they got the Champions League final.
Yeah. A couple of years later, or on the back of that, I'm thinking on the back of that. So they won back-to-back Bundesliga 11 and 12. Yes, because 13 was the Champions League final when they did the treble. Exactly.
So this is...
So what are you going to say then, though? Yeah.
I'm going to go hot streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Might seem a little bit harsh, but I feel like that was very much... Those 2 or 3 seasons, Klopp was brilliant. Mm-hmm. And he had a hot streak with the team, and they won back-to-back titles, and they won 1 German Cup in that time. Yeah. And then a couple of years later, when he left that team, they just survived relegation or something like that.
I mean, they flirted with it, I think. But
so that
still got into
that era.
Still got into Europe a little bit. But I think what I like about this, and I would probably go legendary, is because Dortmund had for many years really struggled before Klopp came along.
Okay,
and, like up and down, and don't get me wrong, but then there was the problems with money for a while there a few years earlier. This put them on the map, not just as a footballing team, but also a footballing club. So a club that people around the world all of a sudden took notice of and loved this swashbuckling approach that they had. These young players, the fact that they could go to another country and pick up some gem, and that hasn't changed for me. Yes, they've struggled to really challenge Bayern with any sort of consistency, but I would say that at least at that point of time, that was a legendary point of time that has set up the club into the next couple of seasons. Bar a few exceptions, of course.
You've changed my mind. I'm going to go legendary.
I knew I'd get there in the end.
Legendary. Yeah. Mainly because that Lewandowski performance against Real Madrid when he scored all 4.
Yeah.
That's it. Legendary team I'm going for there. Is that it?
Yeah.
We're done.
With
some legendary teams. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And of course, let us know all your thoughts below. Mm-hmm. Who was legendary, who wasn't. And any other legendary teams that you'd put in right at the top. Era defining. We've probably missed some going way back.
I'm sure we have.
We're way too young for that.
Yeah.
Both.
Even me.
Thanks so much. Anyway, as always, let us know your thoughts and smash the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, though, we'll see you guys later.